Hello everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another indie comic book review. Super early this week because we are no longer going to have the indie reviews a week late. We are going to get them on time, and in doing this review we will finally catch up because then this Friday we will have this Wednesday's indie books ready for review.
Yes.
So, but this video, for these comics, these books were released on
October 29, 2014, the last week of October. Halloween week as well.
You're getting a dual set of indie reviews because apparently the last episode screwed up. We had to reshoot it, and it's up right now probably. And now we're going to give you guys this episode.
And for the first time in indie history, all the physical books are my books.
And most of the digital. I have two books. This is the... No, you had the indie review a few times before.
I meant physical because there's not one... unless you looked over.
That's fine. I did look over a few.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just physical thing, yeah. So without further ado, let's begin with Titan Comics: The Evil Within, issue number 1. I wanted to give this a try since we have the video game of it, as well as going to do a walkthrough on Frontline Gaming Zone. You can check that out on YouTube. And this book opens up with this girl who goes crazy on the road, and it's like a rainy weather, and this book is like very dark, as you can see in this artwork. It is very good artwork, a little bit sketchy but really good. So she meets up with this guy who's in the middle of the road saying that there is these zombie people who are there attacking them at the end of his shift, and we don't know what's going on and why, and where they came from and all that stuff. So then it goes into the whole thing of going into this place where there were about a bunch of dead bodies, and in this picture, I'm not going to show it, it's very bloody, so that's why I was talking about this guy.
Yeah,
right. So they're trying to hide from him, or it, because, that way they won't be attacked. Going through lots of obstacles, and, we found out the names, though. The woman's name is Dana, and the guy's name is Paul. So Dana and Paul, they're just talking about, how, what they were doing and how they got there. And, let's just say at the end of the book, they've been in a nightmare that they could barely imagine. And it could get very worse after that. Really interesting. I am definitely...
If you're interested in the game, I would definitely recommend the comic then.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to play the game, and I definitely can't wait to read the next issue of The Evil Within, whenever that should come out. Okay, this is going to be a connecting cover of Sonic Universe, issue number 69, and Megaman, issue number 42. There's a 2-part variant. The 3rd part will be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep,
yeah,
and that's coming out in 2 episodes. Not next week, not this week's books, next week's books.
And plus respect of Super Smash Brothers, the game that came out for 3DS, and hopefully soon to be Nintendo Wii U. So, Sonic Universe issue number 69. It's Shadow versus Knuckles after the whole Master Emerald situation that happened last time. Here's this artwork right here, which is definitely classically drawn. And it's really a tie after that, but then Relic is stuck with Team Dark, and everyone's saying, and then the doctor's saying, "Why don't you take the Emerald? You have it there." And of course, they don't do that. So Eclipse is getting in the mind of Shadow, really, which is pretty interesting. And there is some Eclipse moments, but you can read the book to find out there. Also, Sonic Adventure games, where Knuckles said, "I'm not going to fail this, and I won't lose." Basically, just being the snout of Shadow is the key to their thingamajigger. So, Eclipse meets up with Rouge, Omega, and the rest of the people on Angel Zone Island, while the other two are beating up each other for Emerald reasons. And let's just say that at the end of this issue, there's going to be, after the fight, it got a little bit out of control, that it led into something else, and what they don't know is that Eclipse could get the upper hand and closer to the Master Emerald with his
I hope this cover is actually hinting that they'll make a Shadow.
Also, Eclipse has his little Goonies with him as well, so definitely check out more in this issue. So Mega Man issue number 42. In Mega Man issue number 42, Mega Man is now going to be going up against, this is what we saw in the last issue, a Shadow Man, which is this character right here. And this is also classically drawn. So he goes up against Shaman, and it is really just an all-out free-for-all fight. And talks a little bit about him, but he's just saying, never again, I have a purpose, and I will not fail him again by beating Megaman. So, and he's a child of Ramun, because everyone's Ramun fan over here. So after that, he goes up against Quickman and Breakman have a little bit of a fight with each other, with obeying Ramun. And we have Gemini Man who makes a return. And Gemini Man is the one who makes copies holographically.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, this might be your favorite character because you're Gemini, so it could be your favorite character. And they're trying to go up against Mega Man, but the thing is, he has to try to find the real one and not the hologram one. So the way Mega Man did it, you gotta read the book. I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, they wind up teaming up with each other because they got off on, like, he's a robot basically, and that's how they teamed up. But of course, Gemini had some up his sleeve, and yeah. Never ever trust a villain, because they never ever change, unless something. Yeah, just never change. Just never trust a villain. Definitely a good book. We're looking forward to getting the final cover to the Super Smash Bros. Variant cover.
Rest is all Zenoscope.
Yeah. Rest is all Zenoscope of Warlord of Oz, Part 6 of 6, the final issue concluding the Warlord of Oz realm. And what a way they ended it.
Story.
Well, yeah, the story in their realm is what I meant to say, yeah. So it starts off where Dorothy's mother comes in, and she is very evil in this book. Like, she just wants she just talks about her resurrection and everything, whereas Lion is going up against Tin Man, and I want to show some artwork. Yeah, let me show you this artwork. So, Dorothy's mom is just looking over the whole entire city of Zamorian that shall rise again, from what she says. And she just wants Oz to rule again. And of course we don't want that to happen. Scarecrow's in this also and tries to help Lion in all this fight. This is a really nice splash page right here, which I would hope they would make a poster of this, because this looks pretty cool to put on a wall and stuff. So, I forgot what her name was, like, Dorothy's mom, but,
Tora?
No, not Tora.
Tora?
That's the girl, she takes the strength from.
Oh.
But, yeah, so, she takes the strength, whatever her name is, I can't remember now. She takes the strength from her, and, becomes her and everything, and the rest I leave up to you to read, because what a great way they said the end for now. She who yields the wand. Who does it? Yeah, you're gonna have to read the book. I don't want to give it away because it is too awesome.
I hope there's a continuation of Oz.
Well, if this ain't for now, of course there's gonna be. I would hope so too. I really like the whole series, and I would recommend you get trade paperbacks of all that. We're getting into now Realm War Age of Darkness, issue 4 of 12.
This is a good issue also.
I just don't like that Robin Hood is on the Dark Queen's side.
She's two-time the Dark Queen.
I think there's going to be a catch to this, though. Which is what I'm predicting.
You think?
Well, I'm predicting. Can I predict?
Artwork's really good also.
Yeah, artwork is really great. It starts off where,
the guy who was shot by Robin died.
Yeah, he dies, and, Red Hood meets up with Robin. With amazing artwork and everything. And the Dark one with Dark Queen this issue, there's going to be a difference between those two. The way they're getting along.
Yeah, there's definitely I think the Dark one's going to turn on the Dark Queen at some point.
I think so, because the Dark Queen, she's... I hate her so much. So
she has Hercules too, so eventually they're going to...
Oh, yeah. She actually talks to Pain of Hercules. And then she says, you'll all bow down to me because we will take over this, and yeah, who cares about what you say, because they're going to get you in the end anyway. Hopefully, if that happens. And, yeah. So, now they have to find out what they're going to do now with the Dark Queen. as well as trying to get Robin Hood back on their side, as well as hopefully Hercules, because he's your favorite character too. So we have two favorite characters that are on their side. This isn't good.
Hercules
not saying the book, I'm just saying the characters. This book was excellent.
Are you done? Hercules is being manipulated.
Yeah, I don't want them to think the book was, I said the book's excellent. I just don't like that the characters, but there's gotta be a catch. Speaking of Robin Hood issue number 3. Some people said that the issue was okay, but to be honest, I liked it. This issue. Like, it starts off where Robin Hood's going up against this priest guy.
Really nice artwork.
Yeah, really nice. I'll show you this right here. And there's a scene right there. And this guy, I forgot what his name was. I think Dan. Well, I'll find out his name because it said after that. He takes the urn with him. And he was supposed to use it at Robin's signal. But, of course, he wasn't there to use it for that reason. So, yeah, so they're just saying, to prove that they're on his side and everything. So, of course, he doesn't prove that at all because he takes the urn with him. And there's just like a whole big dialogue after that of Robin Hood and Marion having their, like friends night out and everything. Well, not night out, just a friends night in.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was his name? It's going to bother me. I think it was Dan because I remember seeing his name pop up somewhere. But as the issue continues, we meet up with this clan in the end that has like Bane masks.
And I have to agree with Mike. I
Peter.
have to agree with Mike Spider Slayer. It definitely does remind me of the Court of Owls with Bane masks.
Well, I'll just show this side of the page. So his name was Peter, by the way, not David. Dan, Peter. So he's not to be trusted. So they kill the priest anyway, and now this guy wants to know who this Robin Hood chick is. So, oh boy. Robin Hood's got a lot on her plate, and Book of the Week goes to Robin Hood next to Realm War. This is just flat out amazing. So that's it for the physical copy, so let's get into the digital books.
And I need to know about this one. Sonic Boom issue number 1. This is basically based off the new video game, which is also based off of the new cartoon coming out.
Let me explain about this book.
I don't like it at all.
They made Knuckles so dumb in this book. I don't know why they did that. They're making Amy a little bit tougher, which is okay and everything. And they're fighting off against... Sonic and Tails are fighting against this Eggman robot, and they meet up with this other character, the Messenger. Well, he appears later on in this issue. Artwork's a little bit different. I'm not used to it because I've been reading the Sonic-related books, but it's okay. And Styx is the one that appears in this issue. And they make it like all fun and games. They think like this whole thing of what's going on is all joking and stuff. I just didn't like what they did with Knuckles, because after I read this book, I had to literally get up and I couldn't believe what I was reading about Knuckles. They're making him like a Michelangelo, like the Ninja Turtles, saying these stupid questions. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you making his character like this? But looking over that, they're just trying to find a way to get rid of the Eggman robot, a robot that took Tails' house. Now they have to try to take Tails' house back without damaging it. So they try to find a way to get it, and they do. And now Knuckles wants to join Eggman's team. I don't think I'm going to come back for the next issue. I don't even know. After reading this and seeing what they did with the characters and making Knuckles like Steroid Man and I don't know what to think of this book.
I think I'm good never looking at this book ever again. I don't like the way the characters are designed.
And I was going to get a physical copy probably of this, but
I'm glad
I was in shock what they did. So maybe next issue if you fix it up a little, maybe. I am still getting the game though with the exclusive figure.
We're now in Dynamite. We've got The Shadow, Midnight in Moscow, issue number 5. How was it, Mike?
First of all, the dialogue box. Look at the dialogue box.
Yeah, I'm not really
I couldn't understand it because the letters were backwards, upside downs, and this and that. So I couldn't know what's going on. In the middle of the story, from what I'm hearing, is that Shadow knows that there's an apocalypse that is going to happen. And he wants to prevent that from happening because he's in Russia. And there's these people who are speaking a little bit Russian. And I couldn't really understand the dialogue box. I mean, I am sorry. I just
I
didn't
was
know.
even what. But then it gets better.
It does get better. It's like an on and off switch with that, but it is a lot to take in with a lot of dialogue. But just to make this short and not to bore you guys on what happened, it's just him just trying to find out there's an apocalypse, and he wants to find out who is the person behind it.
Artwork's interesting.
Yeah, artwork is interesting. So he goes as the Shadow to find out who this person is, and in the end he finds out who it is. That's basically doing this whole thing. So I just hope that they don't do that whole thing, dialogue box in the next issue, but it's an okay issue. So go ahead.
Savage Dragon 199. In this
Yes.
in this issue, every page is a splash page. So every page I read, I had to read twice because it was one gigantic splash page digitally. I thought this was a great issue. It's just Savage Dragon fighting up against this big gigantic monster and his little, I don't know if they're children or minions or whatever.
They're his sidekicks.
His sidekicks, and it ended awesome. The fight was great. I loved it. The artwork, writing was really good.
And is it just me, or did you read this in 5 minutes also?
Yeah.
It was a 5-minute book. But one more issue, guys, until 200.
And 200 is going to be huge from what I'm hearing.
I am going to definitely read that book. And
Alright.
hopefully get through the whole thing if it's not going to be that big. But
We're in Dark Horse now. Captain Midnight issue number 16.
I am concerned about this.
Uh-oh.
Because the cover says it all. Werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
If you probably already figured it out, Captain Midnight sees that there is these people who are turning into werewolves. And he's trying to find out how they're turning into werewolves, and I think it was some type of thing, like every time that you bite them, they turn into a wolf. So happened to Captain Midnight, and Jones is trying to escape from it. I was like, no, don't go down this road, Captain Midnight. You were doing so well. Don't go down this road of werewolves. So I was just still reading it though, because I love the artwork. It was very interesting. And there was some type of gun that they had to snap them out of it and turn them human again. I mean, I don't know about that. Like, it looks like a gun. And Jones had to try to keep the control in before turning into a werewolf to use the gun. So, yeah, when you continue, you see. See? They turn human again. So now they're going to have to try to find out how to do it to other people and cure them with this woman who comes in that was behind this a little bit, and that's into werewolves and has a secret project that you get to know a little bit more about her and everything. So now, I don't know if it's because it was close to Halloween, maybe it was a one-time deal.
Yeah, it says from the team, Happy Halloween.
Oh, thank God. I was getting really concerned about this book, so that's a relief for me. So, really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like werewolves, but just not when it goes a little bit too far, is all I'm saying. So, go ahead.
Aliens Fire and Stone, issue number 2 of 4. Now remember, in the timeline, this is the first story. This is the people who escaped Hadley's Hope who are now on LV-223. And this issue focuses on Russell and his discovery of the probe. And basically he's saying what's going on, how they're fighting to barely survive. They've got the aliens always attacking them. He captured the probe and found out that the probe was there and man was on that planet. This referenced Prometheus, the movie. Mm-hmm. They were there about 90 years before these people showed up from Hadley's Hope. And the group that's left on LV-223, they're fighting. One guy wants to take the fight to the aliens and destroy them. And the woman wants to basically build a tight defense so they're protected from the aliens instead. And all throughout the book, they're getting picked off one by one, two by two by the aliens. Russell's still doing more and more research on the planet, the sludge, the black sludge, the engineers, and what the probe found from Prometheus. And then he finally releases what he found to the rest of the group on LV-223, and they kind of brush him off. But as the time moves forward, as the longer they're staying on LV-223, the smarter they're getting. They found ways to survive, ways to avoid the alien. And you have Russell, at the end of the issue, we find out the origin of the cave. Spoiler alert, from Alien vs. Predator. And Russell's come face to face with the alien ship in this issue.
That's really
And then there's some definite dirty mutations. There's mutations going on by the end of this issue, which definitely leaves me very interested.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that last page, that last panel has me very interested in seeing what's going to
Whoa.
happen in the next issue.
Whoa, I cannot believe what I just saw there.
But basically all the research that Francis from Alien vs. Predator found from Russell, yeah, that's basically what we got to see in this issue of Aliens Fire and Stone.
Alright, who's doing this one?
You.
Okay. Little Nemo, Return in Slumberland, issue number 2. And I really like this book. It's about...
In the last issue, he barely made... He almost was in
made
Slumberland.
Slumberland. So Jimmy, which is his name, but they call him Nemo, goes to Slumberland and says the princess waits for you to play along and yada yada yada. So they go there on this big sludge. That was actually pretty fun.
Caterpillar.
Or caterpillar, really. It looked like a sludge. But anyway, so... I like the artwork also, and
I think the artwork
and everything
really
he had to go through, being checked up, and just making sure that he was okay for the princess. And that guy, what was his name? Go up, 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 up. It was in. No, go up. It's in that one.
Bon Bon.
Yeah, Bon Bon. Who said, you know, I know I did promise that you would go back home, but there's a little bit of a thing, you know, with the king and everything. So. He meets with the princess, and the princess wants to have a kiss with him, but he says, I'm not into that, and stop calling me Nemo, it's Jimmy, or James, Jimmy, whichever they said his name was Jimmy, but that's what he said. So he gets out of his clothes to meet up with her in the garden. He just wants to go home, but after the garden, he was really amazed. And then this other guy comes in, this guy, the one that says a wake up cap on his head, and says, you know, oh, you don't have to go through this, just stay with me and I'll take you out, here's a cigar. And of course he doesn't do the cigar after he did after that. So he was being a troublemaker. So he's going to get these guards, some type of guards, and that's when the sun comes up and melts Slumberland. So if he wakes up, Slumberland will be gone. So he can't wake up, or else that's it. Slumberland is over, like Krypton was for Superman, which is what it reminds me of. I hate to bring up because I know that was a sad moment, but for this one, it reminded me of that. So he woke up, and Slumberland is history, from what I saw. So there is going to be more issues. Don't think it's the end.
I'm really loving this book.
I really loved it too. I mean, that is my favorite digital book that I read for this week. So. As well as the other one, but I'll get to that after this review of this one.
Transformers More Than Meets the Eyes, issue number 34. I didn't enjoy this issue at all. It's continuing the story where they're trapped in like the multiple realities or whatever. It's the other half of the team. They're trapped on this planet. A character dies. And then we get the background story on how Megatron became Megatron. Like, first it was this big, you know, this
that's a long
book he wrote, these stories he wrote against the fighting the power, so to speak, and then somebody kidnapped Megatron and tried to manipulate his brain to believe, you know, things are the way they are because this is the way they're supposed to be, and that's that. No more rebelling, and that protesting is a sickness and needs to be stopped. So that's why Megatron didn't want anybody messing with his brain. So I did like that part of the book. I like that part of the book where they showed us a little bit more of Megatron's origin, or how he became Megatron, like the Megatron we know. The rest of the story was just okay, to be honest. At this point, kind of a little eh. And then the last page, of course, leaves promise for the next issue. But I don't know, this issue just didn't do it for me. Just like the Robots in Disguise issue from this month, it just... Lots of dialogue and lots of stuff that isn't going to matter by this time next year, or, as a matter of fact, this time in 2 months from now.
Okay, so
most of it. Some of it will, but most of it won't.
So in the last episode, we did the Super Secret Crisis War of Cow and Chicken one-shot, but we didn't forget Super Secret Crisis War, which is issue number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, issue number 5. So in this issue, this is where the robots are still going around. They use now Mandark as their little what do you call those people that they use them for?
Bait?
Not bait. When you use them to do stuff.
Pack Mule?
I guess so, whatever it is. But they're using him to do everything is because Mojo Jojo's not to be found. Or so it is. So Mandoc is using all this. Mojo Jojo is with teaming up with Ed and Eddie. And he's turning over new leaves saying, you know, it's my Earth that they're going up against, so I'm going to team up and make sure that they don't take over the world. So Dexter, the Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, and Samurai Jack are trying to, you know, beat the robots and trying to stop Aku Aku from destroying the planet. So as the issue continues, the Powerpuff Girls are happy that Mojo Jojo has joined their side, and of course Mandark was one step ahead, getting him. And what we find in the end is that it's not Mojo Jojo's world they're going to attack, it's Mandark's world that they're going to attack, which is Dexter's world. So, oh man.
There's one more one-shot, and issue 6 is the end.
I am expecting this last issue, those villains go neck to neck with each other saying, I'm going to take over, I'm going to take over, and then just, oh, I'm looking forward, and I hope I see that next issue. So, that next to Slumberland is my best digital book of the week. Physical, of course, goes to Robin Hood. But, A Long Realm War, but it was really interesting. One more issue. The next one-shot is going to be the codename Kids Next Door, which I know a little bit about, not too much, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to reading that.
Alright, and with that, that's it for this review, guys. Feel free to leave comments below. Like, dislikes, agree, disagree, any recommendations you guys have for us for books to review. And with this, we are actually caught up. Look forward to the other the third indie review for the books that came out today, because today's Wednesday as we're shooting this.
Right.
Look forward to that review probably this Wednesday. Descriptions as we speak are continuing to be updated. There's me, Mike, and Cindy working on watching videos and fixing all the descriptions, so that should all be fixed soon. As always, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Dark Avenger Live this Friday. It's going to be huge because it's the 40th episode.
Yeah.
Right before the reboot.
It's going to be a big one.
And, yeah, so until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.